Hi, loves. Welcome to your reading. If you've seen the title, then you already know why you're here today. This is going to be a general collective reading. So, as always, remember to use your intuition. Take the messages that resonate with you and simply leave the rest behind. I'm really feeling called to work with the astrology cards for this one, so that's what we're going to dive into. We'll see what energies are showing up, what the universe wants to highlight for you right now, and what might be unfolding in your space, collective. Let's tune in and see what messages are ready to come through for you today. All right, loves. So we've got Saturn showing up first. So right away we know this is about lessons, things you're meant to learn or grow through. Now, the 7th house is here as well, and that's been popping up a lot lately. This is all about partnerships, marriage, connections, the people you commit yourself to. So already I'm feeling like Spirit is pointing to relationships and the lessons you're either currently moving through or have been repeating with others. Now, with this conjunction energy, I'm really getting this sense of a combustion, like when two energies merge and either ignite something powerful or bring up friction that needs to be addressed. And then we have Aquarius in the mix, which tells me there's a deeper message about independence, truth, maybe even breaking out of old molds when it comes to how you relate to others. There's a lesson here about balancing your own authenticity with the energy of someone else. Let's clarify that conjunction real quick. I pulled the 2 of Cups, Page of Swords, 7 of Cups, and at the bottom of the deck we've got the Queen of Swords along with the 6 of Wands. For some of you, you might be dealing with choices in love or partnerships, like where do I commit? Who do I give my energy to? And what connections actually align with me? Some of you could definitely be air signs out there, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, because that Queen of Swords energy feels strong, clear thinking, setting boundaries, cutting through illusions. So already, I can feel this message is steering toward not just connections, but the clarity and truth you need in them, especially with that Aquarius influence. It feels like someone's energy is coming through here too. So let's look at Aquarius a little more closely and see what that's trying to tell us. Okay. So we've got the Knight of Cups and the 9 of Wands showing up here right away. I'm picking up that somebody has had their eye on you for quite some time now, but the thing is, they haven't really made any major moves yet. It's more like they're standing back, observing, trying to figure out their next step rather than taking direct action. I'm seeing with the 7 of Cups, 2 of Cups, and Page of Swords that this person has been in their head a lot about you. They're kind of questioning and wondering, could the collective really be my soulmate? Could this actually be the connection I've been looking for? So, there's definitely some curiosity and intrigue here. Now, with all this happening in the 7th house energy and tied into Aquarius, this feels like it's about something bigger than just romance. Aquarius brings that progressive, forward-thinking vibe. This person is going through a bit of an awakening, a shift, a detachment from old patterns or expectations of what relationships should look like. They're breaking free from the norm, from outdated ways of seeing partnership. And here's the kicker. Death is sitting at the bottom of the deck, right alongside that Knight of Cups and the Sun. That's transformation. That's rebirth. That's light being shed on a whole new way of loving and connecting. Sheesh, collective. This is intense, but in a good way. So, here's what I'm seeing. Someone out there has you locked in as their potential soulmate. They're deeply considering this connection, and they're right in that space of the 2 of Cups meeting the 7 of Cups, fantasizing, envisioning, and asking themselves if it's time to merge energies with you. Okay, let's pause and look at Saturn for a second. Why is that showing up? We've got the King of Swords here, which makes sense. Remember earlier we saw that Page of Swords kind of lurking, keeping an eye on the 2 of Cups energy, while the 7 of Cups brought in all that questioning. Like, could this actually be what people talk about? Could this really be one of those soulmate things? This feels very much like a lesson in awakening for someone. I'm picking up on a person who, not too long ago, probably had a very rigid mindset or firm set of beliefs. The type who might have brushed off the idea of soulmates, twin flames, or deep spiritual bonds as nonsense. But now, because of the energy between you two, it's like something has cracked open in them. There's been a spark, almost a collision of energies, and that has triggered a shift in their awareness. Saturn being here shows this isn't just random, it's karmic. It's meant to push them into growth, into seeing things differently. Now, with that King of Swords energy, there's still this air of control, logic, and needing to make sense of everything. They're approaching this with their head more than their heart right now, and that's part of their lesson. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Three of Cups and the Chariot, which tells me they're learning about communication and forward movement. Learning how to actually express what they're feeling instead of keeping it locked inside. I do feel like behind the scenes, this person is probably diving into research, reading about soulmates, twin flames, spiritual connections, all because of you, all because their energy got activated in your presence. But here's the catch. They aren't saying any of this out loud. Not yet. It's still unspoken, still being processed internally. So what's the 7th house about? Oh wow, the Queen of Pentacles flew right out. That tells me somebody is seriously thinking about wifing you up or husbanding you up here. That's the energy shift coming through. And the interesting thing is, I don't really feel like this person originally had that intention. In the past, they weren't giving off the vibes of someone who was interested in pursuing something that could grow into long-term stability, like marriage, commitment, or building a life together. But here's where it shifts. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Two of Pentacles and the Tower. This is the change. This person has always been back and forth, a little wishy-washy, maybe even juggling decisions about what they truly wanted. If this is someone you've dealt with before, their energy was inconsistent. They weren't clear about choosing you or choosing a real partnership. Now, the Tower is showing up because they're going through some kind of awakening. And it's big. Their entire foundation is being shaken, beliefs are crumbling, and they're being pushed into this realization. With the conjunction energy showing up, this feels very much like a twin flame or divine counterpart situation. Two energies merging, fusing, coming into alignment. That's why their world is being flipped upside down. The Seven of Pentacles with the World says cycles are closing out here. The Judgment card is right alongside that, so this is divinely guided. This person is being called to rise into a new way of being. And the Five of Pentacles, that shows me they no longer want to be out in the cold, no longer want to stand on the sidelines. If they thought being single, detached, or non-committal was their path, they're realizing now that's not the truth. Something deep inside them is shifting. They don't want to live in lack. They don't want to miss this connection anymore. This is transformation energy. Big endings, big realizations, and the desire to step into a committed, soul-level union. Why is Uranus here? The Emperor. Okay, so what I'm picking up is this person was very stubborn, almost rigid. This feels like someone who carried a my way or the highway type of energy. Their beliefs were firm, maybe even a little unshakable, and they operated from that place of control. But here's the thing, this whole dynamic was a lesson for them. It feels like this person has always had a bit of a rebellious streak when it comes to authority, almost like they naturally push back against being told what to do. That's where Saturn ties in, right? Saturn comes in with lessons, with structure, with karmic balancing. It's like the universe used this connection to challenge that stubbornness and to guide them into real progress, into growth. And look at the bottom of the deck. Progress. Exactly what I was feeling with the Emperor. Aries energy here. And it definitely gives me divine masculine vibes. Then we've got the Two of Cups showing up with the Ten of Pentacles. That's big. This person already knows they feel something powerful with you. It's undeniable. What's shifting now is their mindset about what they actually want. Instead of resisting or trying to control, they're starting to open up to the idea of partnership, family, longevity, and legacy. Five of Wands with the Empress. So for some of you, this feels like in the past there was conflict, some sort of tension when it came to this connection. It's like you may have met this person and instantly recognized something significant, maybe even knowing deep down that this was a soulmate or counterpart energy. But at the same time, you both weren't in the same place. It looks like this person wasn't ready to settle down, wasn't ready to step fully into what this connection could mean. And yet, what's clear here is that they definitely don't want to lose you. That's a strong message, because this person knows there's competition. They know other people would be more than happy to be with you. And to them, you really are the one. Two of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and the Emperor. I mean, what more confirmation do you need? That's long-term commitment, stability, building a life together. But then there's this Five of Wands with the Empress, and that's where the issue comes in. So let's clarify it. And look, right behind that, Seven of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. Exactly, that's the root of the conflict. When you crossed paths, it feels like this person wasn't fully ready. There may have been obstacles, confusion, or simply that internal battle of, do I pursue this now, or do I hold on to my freedom a little longer? That hesitation created friction. So let's dig deeper into that Five of Wands with the Empress energy. I'm actually going to grab another deck and see what really comes through about why this conflict showed up in the first place. I mean, yeah, we've got the Emperor and the Empress showing up together here, so more than likely we're dealing with some kind of counterpart connection. Then we've got the High Priestess, the King of Wands, and the Sun coming out. This tells me that in the past, somebody definitely held back. They held back their true feelings, their truth, their action toward pursuing this connection. They wore a mask. And honestly, we can see that energy written all over this spread. That was their lesson. I feel like this person resisted it, almost kicking and screaming against what the universe was trying to show them. But now it's like Spirit is finally breaking through, and it comes in almost like an explosion. This sudden clarity, this boom moment of realization. I see the light. I know the collective is irreplaceable. I'm never going to find another soul like them. This really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Of course, with that realization comes some conflict. Probably silence, maybe even avoidance. Let's talk about the High Priestess here. This person knows that you can see straight through them, collective. That's part of why they've been pulling away or avoiding you. They're having a hard time facing their own lessons, and they really don't want you to know just how much they're struggling. But the thing is, they are learning. The Ace of Swords confirms it. They know you already hold the truth, and they also know deep down that they kept a big truth from you in the past. With the Three of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, the vibe here is clear. When you two were connecting, or even if you're still loosely connected now, they weren't at the stage in their growth where they could give to this equally. It feels like you've always been operating at a slightly higher level, more in alignment, while they were catching up. I feel like we've pulled a lot of cards pointing to this already. But let's go a little deeper into this conjunction energy. What exactly does this mean for the collective? Ooh, we've got the Lovers and the Three of Swords. Oh wow, yeah. This is the lesson. This is the tough one. I'm getting a strong sense of a missed opportunity here. Like this person really blew their chance with you in the past. They didn't recognize what was right in front of them. For some, it wasn't even malicious. It was just immaturity. They weren't on your level yet, emotionally or spiritually. And that misalignment, that inability to meet you where you were, caused heartbreak. This feels like it was tied to a very high-level soulmate connection, and the pain of that separation cut deep on both sides. And look at the bottom of the deck. The Star and the Ace of Cups. Oh my gosh, collective. This tells me that no matter how this ended, no matter what this person did or didn't do, the heartbreak itself was the turning point. That pain was the catalyst, the necessary push for this person to learn their lesson. They were stubborn, resistant, maybe even in denial of what this connection really was. And the universe said, okay then, if you won't see it, we'll separate you, and maybe that'll wake you up. And it looks like it did. I'm picking up on a shift in their beliefs now. Where they were once closed off, dismissive, or too rigid in their thinking, they're opening up. There's healing happening here with that Star card, Aquarius energy, and with the Ace of Cups, it's undeniable. This person is in love with you. Whether they've admitted it out loud or not, they feel this soul-level bond, and the separation made it crystal clear. Now, circling back to that Three of Swords, that's the wound that changed everything. Let's dig in a little more and see what else Spirit wants us to know about that heartbreak. This whole thing was designed to crack this person's heart chakra wide open. You were the catalyst here, the connection that shook them to their core. I really feel like they had a choice in the past, and honestly, they chose wrong. They went down a different path, and while it wasn't the easy one, it was the one that forced them into growth. It feels like they took the long, hard road, and yet, somehow, it led them right back to this lesson with you. This person has a big issue when it comes to giving in or surrendering to authority, and that stubbornness played a huge role in why things unfolded the way they did. Now, with that Three of Swords clarified by the Nine of Swords, we're seeing sleepless nights, restless energy, and heavy regret. It's like this connection blew their entire world apart, and now that you may not be in their life anymore, or at least not in the same way, they don't know what to do. They're realizing they might never find anything like this again, And that realization is haunting them. This is giving me major Six of Cups energy. Nostalgia, soul recognition, that deep knowing. Honestly, it feels like divine counterpart vibes. Too many cards have pointed toward past lives, destiny, and soulmate energy for this to be a coincidence. The Ace of Wands is sitting right there too, which tells me they still feel that fire, that spark, like the flame has never gone out. And here's the thing, you're the only one. You're the only person this individual truly thinks about, the one on their mind day and night. With the Page of Swords and King of Pentacles energy, it looks like they're watching, learning, and trying to mature. This isn't an easy process for them. It's been slow, reluctant, and full of resistance, but the lesson is finally sinking in. So if this resonates for you, know that this connection has been a massive catalyst for their soul growth. You've pushed them, even unintentionally, into becoming a better version of themselves. And I can't help but feel there's going to be some sort of merging here soon, whatever that means in your situation. That energy of union sits right at the center of everything, and at the end of the day, it is what this person wants more than anything else. Let's actually shift into the energy oracle and see what's coming through for them right now, because it feels like the universe has been trying to get this lesson through to them for a long time. And now, finally, they may be ready to accept the challenge and step into it. So let's see what's happening in their energy at the moment. Yeah, they don't have you anymore. We've got the woman holding the heart in reverse. So again, this is that Three of Swords energy all day long. They would have never woken up without you being here. I'll be real with you. This person was extremely stubborn, very set in their ways, almost immovable until you came into the picture, collective. You were the one who cracked something open in them. Now look. Deceit shows up. And we're not gonna sugarcoat this. We're gonna keep it real. This person has suffered loss because abundance came out in the upright, meaning they know what they had and they know what they lost. Here's the kicker. If you're in no contact right now and you see them out there in the 3D, posting, acting like they're unbothered, like they're living their best life, don't buy it. That's ego talking. That's a mask. It's a big fat lie. Inside, they know you're the one that brought them true happiness. They're deceiving everyone around them. But most of all, they're deceiving themselves. And look what comes with deceit. The 6th chakra. That's the third eye energy. So what does that tell me? This person already knows the truth. Their intuition has been screaming it at them. They're aware. And yet, they're still over here playing it off like, I'm fine, I'm good, nothing's wrong. But deep down, oh no, they're not good at all. They can't unsee what's been revealed to them. Tell me about this blossoming abundance. 6 of Pentacles, the Sun, and Death. Okay, so right away what I'm getting is that this person was giving to the wrong things in the past. I'll be honest, that's just the strongest energy here. They were pouring into the wrong places, the wrong people, maybe even distractions or shallow pursuits, and it left them depleted. They weren't aligned with you on the same timeline when it came to growth and expansion. Something's been illuminated to them now, though. And it's clear they see the truth of their own choices. For some of them, I do feel there was a heavy focus on the material, maybe status, career, or even appearances. That was a factor here. But then we've got the 8 of Swords and the Page of Swords. They've been stuck in their head about this, but watching, learning, thinking, they're wanting to restart something for sure. And they know you know. They know that you saw through their deceit in the past, especially around their feelings. For many of you, they hid how deep this went, and now the question in their mind is, how do I come back in? How do I give in the right way this time? How do I balance this out? Now, woman holding a heart reversed with man holding a coin, this is wild. It's literally showing us what we just said. This person chose their ego. They chose money, status, material security, maybe even pride, over the actual connection. Very stubborn energy, very tied to the 3D, very my way or the highway. For a lot of you, that forced a separation. Either they walked away, or you did. But if it was you walking away, it was because their ego left you no other choice. 6th chakra, though, this is where it gets interesting. They intuitively know they messed up. Like deep down, they can't even hide it from themselves anymore, even though they may try. Their higher self sees it clearly. And what they truly want, beneath all that armor, is for this to bloom again with you. Notice the greens here, too? This ties into the heart space. It's almost like spirit is showing that this person literally chose lifestyle, image, or material comforts over the person who actually held their heart. And now they're realizing that's not where the real abundance comes from. It's not the pentacle, it's the love, the connection, the healing energy you brought. That's what creates blossoming abundance. That's what they're craving now. All right, back to it. Why is the sixth chakra here? Six of Pentacles. That's interesting because what I'm really getting is that this person knows they messed up, collective. They're fully aware of what they did, and if you're resonating with the feeling that you got shortchanged in this connection, then yes, you're right. They know it too. Seven of Pentacles at the bottom, Three of Pentacles showing. This tells me for a lot of you, they simply weren't ready to truly build something stable with you. It's not that the potential wasn't there, it's that they sabotaged it. That's the energy. The world and judgment together make it very clear. They weren't ready to face that level of accountability, to go through that transformation and expansion with you. They still had unfinished business, cycles they wanted to keep open, or distractions they weren't ready to let go of on their end. But here's the kicker. Five of Pentacles and King of Cups. That path they chose, it led them straight into the cold. They may have thought they were choosing comfort or control or even freedom, but in reality, it left them without blossoming abundance. No matter how much they try to portray in the 3D that they're thriving, deep down, what's missing is love. They don't have that, and they know it. Well, let's see. Why is the woman holding a heart here? There it is, the angel of love. Because you know what that is? This is a damn soul connection, straight up. You don't have your counterpart right now because they chose another path. Plain and simple. And listen, they're feeling it. Oh, they're feeling it heavy. But that's exactly what it took, collective, to wake this person up. Losing you, that's what cracked it open. That's what shook them. Now, why is deceit here? Patience, because this person waited too long. Some of them even knew deep down that this was a soul contract, a divine connection, whatever label you want to put on it. And still, they sat there and did nothing. They let you walk away. They let the connection slip through their fingers. And in the end, they really shot themselves in the foot. See, now they're the ones sitting with the broken heart. Sure, you carried that pain too. No denying that. But what's shifted is that now their entire vision of abundance, of happiness, of what a future could look like, it's all tied to you. It's not about material gain, not about the pentacles anymore. Their blossoming abundance is only seen through you, and they can't escape that. They lied to themselves, they sabotaged themselves, and now they're living with the weight of that choice. Whoever this is, they want to come back together. That's why we see that combustion energy showing up, because this connection lit something in them that they had never experienced before. This was the awakening. This was the trigger that cracked open what they were running from all along. Why is blossoming abundance here? Well, we've got the second chakra in the upright. Okay, let's dig in. Page of Wands, oh Lord, Two of Cups, Ten of Pentacles. You see what I'm saying? This person in the past, it feels like they were just kind of out here doing their thing. Non-committal. Probably leaning heavier on that sexual energy, not really thinking long term. But something shifted. This connection shifted them. Now with that Two of Cups and Ten of Pentacles showing up, it's like they can finally see the bigger picture. Page of Wands says they're curious. They want to test the waters, but not in the same shallow way they once did. It's more like, where could this really go if I step up? We've also got the Emperor, Seven of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, and Four of Swords. To me, that screams someone who used to be indecisive, stuck in confusion, weighing too many options. But now, they're sitting in reflection, realizing independence doesn't have to mean being alone. They can still have their freedom, still have their sense of self, while also building something solid and meaningful with their counterpart. And let's not ignore this. The passion between you two is unmatched. It's fire, but it's also balanced with this deep, soul-level love. That's rare. That's best of both worlds energy right there. So honestly, what is there to lose? This is not about giving anything up. It's about gaining everything. A true partnership, a soulmate bond, an abundant future. Why is the sixth chakra here? Well, it's showing up with the garden and the gate because this person kept it all locked away. Their intuition lit up the moment they saw you. There was recognition, deep recognition, and for a lot of you it feels like past life energy. But instead of acting on it, they sat on it. They didn't move. Before you, I feel this person lived very closed off, very structured, almost rigid, by the book, you know? They thought they had it all figured out, and what they felt with you didn't line up with the world they'd built in their head. So, it didn't make sense to them, and what didn't make sense, they buried it. Now you probably knew. Many of you picked up on it right away. Maybe some of you even voiced it. But this specific energy we're tapping into, they hid it. They hid the fact that they recognized you. They hid the fact that they felt it on a soul-deep level. They weren't ready to let that truth disrupt their neat little world. Why is the man holding a coin here in the upright? Well, it's tied to the throat chakra, so right away, that's communication. They want to speak, they want to express something that's been sitting heavy on them. I feel like what they're wanting to say has a lot to do with growth and change, almost like they're trying to step into a more grounded version of themselves. Honestly, it gives me King of Pentacles energy. And I think that's what you always wanted from this person in the first place. Honesty, stability, and consistency. Nothing overcomplicated, just acknowledgement of this connection, because both of you know you feel it. And the thing is, once that recognition and open conversation happens, the potential between you two is massive. This feels like the type of energy where you could build something powerful together, even outside of romance, like joint ventures, creative projects, or actual business. Power couple vibes all day. But the catch here is that this person really has to get themselves aligned because that's been the missing piece. Why is the man holding a coin here, though? The Eight of Swords tried to come out reversed, and that tells me they're finally freeing themselves from their own limitations and excuses. It's like they know deep down you're their sure thing, their safe bet, but they've had a terrible way of showing it in the past. Then we've got the Wheel and the Lovers. So yeah, this is a destined connection. That's why they're nervous to approach, but also why they can't ignore it anymore. The changes they're making, it's all because of this recognition. I still feel like this person isn't entirely comfortable speaking out loud about what they know, what they sense, when it comes to this connection. They may keep a lot of that under wraps because for them, this really does feel like uncharted territory. Being with you means stepping into a different kind of bond, one that's more deeply rooted in the 5D, and that energy doesn't quite align with their old life, their old patterns, or the way they've always operated. But here's the thing. Two of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. This person is already looking ahead, already imagining a future with you. It makes them nervous, yes, but there's also this spark of excitement. It feels like something new, something that both scares them and pulls them in closer at the same time. They're manifesting this whether they admit it or not. They've tapped into the vision of what the two of you could create together. Now, with the second chakra clarified by Judgment and the Three of Wands, this is powerful. This is them awakening to the reality of what could be, to the future that lies ahead if they choose to step forward. There's a strong energetic current between the two of you already, something undeniable. And it feels like this connection has the potential to build and expand into something truly significant. But here's the key. For all of that to come into alignment, they're going to have to rise up and meet you where you are, collective. They can't bring their old ways into this new vision. It's about transformation, about choosing the higher path and matching the energy you already hold. Why is the woman holding a heart in the reverse? King of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. Because honestly, they had to lose you first to recognize that you were their true wish fulfillment all along. It's that classic wake-up call. If they want you, they can't come in shaky or half-hearted anymore. They have to step up, be solid, and prove they can hold it down. No more of this, I don't know what I want energy. That's done. Knight of Swords at the bottom with the Magician shows me that losing you lit a fire under them. This is pushing them into action before it's too late, before they lose you for good. Because let's be real, you're the one who has their heart. They can try to deny it, act confused, or pretend it's not that deep, but at the end of the day, they know. They know exactly who you are to them, and that's why communication is coming. They're going to have to speak their truth here, collective. They're not about to just let you slip away. They're manifesting this, no question. Four of Cups, Queen of Wands. But here's the catch. They're scared. Deep down, they're worried you don't even want them anymore. For some of you, it's been a long time, and that distance makes them nervous. Still, the energy shows they're going to make a move. For the majority of them, they're coming forward. Three of Cups, Page of Wands. So yes, here they come. Now, it might feel a little cagey at first, maybe not as grand as you'd want, but I do feel their intentions are real. They know they've got to come clean. They know the mask can't stay on anymore. Tell me about this deceit energy. Let's dig a little deeper into that, even though I feel like we already know where it's pointing. King of Wands shows up, and yep, that says it all. Somebody was wearing a mask. Could easily be a fire sign, and honestly, they were giving off that Burger King energy, like Steve's Love Tarot says, have it your way. This person carried themselves like it was all on their terms, acting like you didn't completely melt that frozen little heart of theirs, when in reality, you absolutely did. Here's the thing. They knew they could have had it all with you, collective. That's the part that's eating them alive right now. 5 of Cups at the bottom with the 8 of Cups, disappointment and regret. Heavy. It's almost that same sting you feel when your parent says, "I'm not mad, I'm disappointed." That's the weight of it. That's what's sitting on their chest. And maybe that's why they pulled back or stalled so much. 9 of Swords with the King of Cups shows they've been drowning in overthinking, replaying everything, and wrestling with emotions they tried so hard to bury. They put on the tough exterior, but inside they're restless, anxious, and honestly a little lost about how to fix this. But here's the truth. The way forward is simple, even if it feels heavy for them. If they want to rebuild what they broke, they've got to drop the mask, show you they're willing to change, and step into being that stable, reliable partner. No more games, no more pretending. That's the only way they win you back. All right, collective, I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here for today. I really feel like this came through as a solid message. This person, they definitely deceived themselves for quite some time. And in doing that, they deceived you as well by sitting on all of these feelings and not showing up the way they should have. But honestly, I think deep down you already knew that this person had some lessons and inner work they needed to face before they could truly step forward. Now, what they see with you, that's something real. That's something worth holding on to. I feel strongly that for many of you, even if it's been a while since you've heard from them, communication is coming in. This feels like someone who doesn't want to let this slip away, someone who's realizing they need to make a move before it's too late. So yeah, collective, that's where I'm going to leave it. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know if this resonated, because I feel like some of you really needed to hear this today. And if you enjoyed the reading, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more messages. All right, until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys!